Hello, dear student. How are you? I hope you're fine. Welcome to another vocabulary lesson. The aim of today's lesson is to discuss with you what an idiom is. Do you know what an idiom is? Idiom. Okay, think a little bit about it. An idiom. Guys, we call idioms some expressions that are very hard to translate if we approach it literally. We will never understand the expression if we translate word per word. Or if we understand, we will understand it wrongly. For example, there is this common example that I really like using because it makes it very clear to visualize. Kick the bucket. Kick the bucket. Of course, you are an intermediate English level student, so you already know what kick is, what the is, and what bucket is, right? When you kick the bucket, you hit something with your foot. You hit something with your foot. When you hit something with your foot, you're kicking it. Like when you're playing football, right? You kick the ball when you're playing soccer. And bucket is that container we generally use when we are cleaning the house. We put water in and then we can mop the floor. So kick the bucket. In Portuguese, this expression means something like when you give up, right? When you don't care anymore. That's what it means in Portuguese. But in English, it means to die. So if someone kicks the bucket, the person dies. So John kicked the bucket yesterday. Oh, that's so sad. He died yesterday. That's the meaning of this expression. So this is just an example of what an idiom is. So you could, of course, claim that, oh, teacher, this is so difficult. But I will agree with you. It is difficult, but it's very worth learning. Why is it? Because the more idioms we know, the more natural we sound. Okay, so our goal here is to sound natural or to sound a little bit more advanced. Isn't that what you want? Don't you want to sound more advanced? So you really need to learn some idioms. And today I picked some specific idioms about sadness or happiness. Common feelings, right? Every day we feel a little bit sad or a little bit happy. And how can we use more sophisticated structures to say that? Let's learn. Come along with me. So let's take this very, very simple sentence here, which is quite basic. John is very happy. John is very happy. John is very... Oh, come on, this is so simple, right? Because we have verb to be here. John is the subject, very happy, this is an adjective. So you agree, of course, that this is a very basic sentence, right? John is very happy. Can we put a specific some information of time? Yes, let's put it before here, today. So today, John is very happy. What I'm trying to do is change this very happy into some idioms, into some expressions that will convey the same message. And then we can think of some. Let me see the first one. Thrilled to bits. Probably this is quite new for you. Thrilled to bits. Oh, today John is thrilled to bits. It means he's very, very happy. He's very excited about something. He is thrilled to bits. Thrilled to bits. Repeat the word or the expression in this case at least 3 times, dear student. Thrilled to bits, thrilled to bits, thrilled to bits. That's the expression, thrilled to bits. Okay, but let's say I want to say something else. I want to say the same thing actually, but using another structure. You can just use feel on top of the world. Come on, you know that this is a verb, so you can change this verb. You don't need to use even verb to be. In this case, you could just say, John feels on top of the world, but that's present simple. It's something that happens frequently. Or you can use present continuous. John is feeling on top of the world. So you see that Something quite basic like John is very happy can get more sophisticated if we use idioms. So today John is thrilled to bits. Repeat. Today John is feeling on top of the world. I'm going to change this into an ing so it fits here grammatically. But okay, you know that this is a verb, so we use verbs in different contexts and in various manners. Next one, we could say that John is on cloud 9. John is on cloud 9. This makes no sense for us, right? Makes no sense for us. It's like a cloud and the cloud has a number, 9. John is in this case not in, it's on, pardon me. Today John is on cloud 9. He's very, very happy. Actually, not only very, he's extremely happy. He's extremely happy. He's on cloud 9. We could also say that he's over the moon. Over the moon. He's extremely happy. He's extremely excited. Something very good happened to John today and he is over the moon. John is over the moon. John is on cloud 9. John is feeling on top of the world. John is thrilled to bits. Okay, John is very happy. It's also possible. And you could also use the last expression for very happy, which is in seventh heaven. In seventh heaven. That's a V over here. In seventh heaven. So John, today, John is in seventh heaven. What would make you, or what would you take you to your seventh heaven? Maybe winning the lottery? I don't need that. I mean, I would love to win the lottery, but I don't need that to be on cloud 9. We don't need to win the lottery to be in seventh heaven. All right, so idioms for extremely, when you're feeling extremely happy, for extreme happiness. But we can also talk about some moderate happiness. Actually, I will not even call that happiness. I will call that hobbies. Hobbies. When you want to talk about things that make you happy. When you want to talk about things that make you excited. So in this case, I'm still using John, right? Or maybe I should change John, because John is always going to take a verb in the singular. Maybe we could use a verb in the plural. I don't know. Let's keep with John. So in this case, John likes reading. Come on, this is a very simple sentence. A student who has just started learning English can write this sentence. John likes reading. We know that there's an S here. This letter S is over here because it's he, she, it in the present simple describing a periodic event. We know all that. So John likes reading. Good. But I don't want to use this simple sentence. So you can use a more sophisticated approach or a structure, but you will need to change the sentence a little bit in order to use that. So you could just say that John, instead of using like, John gets a real kick out of So in this case, instead of using like, I am using get a real kick out of. And then you can tell me, but teacher, you're making my life more difficult because likes is easier. Yes, likes is easier and likes is more basic too. So if you want to keep using basic vocabulary, that is not a problem. But I imagine you are willing to improve your vocabulary. So if that's the case, you can try and memorize this expression. Get a real kick out of. In this case, kick is totally different from kick the bucket, like when I introduced the topic in the video, right? It's completely different. So John gets a real kick out of. So if he likes reading, he gets a real kick out of reading. There is a very famous song by Frank Sinatra, which is I Get a Real Kick Out of You. I think it's something close to that. I get a real kick out of you, or I get a kick out of you. I get a kick out of you, I guess. I'm gonna write that down. I get a kick out of you. So I'm saying that I like you, right? You make me happy, right? But you're not a hobby, don't get offended. So, John gets a real kick out of reading, good. But we can also say that John, and the verb here is read, right? So we can put this in the present simple. John reads for kicks. For kicks. It means he reads to make himself happy, to make himself pleased. He reads for kicks. He doesn't read for obligation. He doesn't read because he has to. He reads for kicks. He reads for kicks. Other expressions to talk about excitement, excited, or excitement. Let's say that John is excited. John is excited in this scenario here, okay? And in this case, when I saw John, I'll use it here. When I saw John yesterday, he was excited. Okay, this is not a basic sentence anymore. You're using an intermediate, pre-intermediate structure. Excited. But even this being a little bit more intermediate, you can make it more advanced, or you can make it more sophisticated if we use the correct idiom, okay? And I brought some other idioms for you. In case of John was very excited, but very, 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 very excited, right? Like extremely excited. So when I saw John yesterday, he was jumping for joy. He was jumping for joy. This is also an idiom, an expression that we can identify as when you were very, very excited about something. You were jumping for joy. Or, I like this one, he was floating on air. He was floating on air. He was floating on air. He was so excited. He was so extremely happy that he was floating on air. He was jumping for joy. Okay, some expressions. And let's imagine that to make John even happier, let's say that you've just complimented John. Of course, you know the meaning of complimented, right? That's elogiar in Portuguese. So you've just complimented John. In this case, if you've just complimented John and John loved his compliment, he loved this compliment, you could say that you've made John's day. You've made John's day. You've made John's day. You complimented him and you made him happy because of your compliment. This is that's very useful when someone compliments you and you don't know what to do. You could just say, "Oh, you've made my day." That's the best way to respond to someone who's complimenting you. So someone says, "Oh, wow, you're so beautiful today." And then you get embarrassed and let's imagine you're shy and say, "Oh, you've made my day. You've made my day." It means you've made me feel happy, okay? That's exactly what it means. But in life we also experiment sadness, right? So let's talk a little bit about sadness over here. Let me try and erase this. So in the first scenario, in the first moment, John was very happy, right? He was extremely happy, like in here. But let's imagine something bad happened to John, or maybe John has got bipolar disorder, and he now is very, very sad. John is extremely sad. Again, said is something quite basic, right? Every basic student who started a course yesterday knows what said means. So you may want to sound a little bit more sophisticated. And how would you do that? So if John is extremely sad, you could say that he is out of sorts. Out of sorts. Oh, John is out of sorts. And if you really want to say that he's extremely sad, you could use a totally here, because totally fits well. Totally out of sorts. John is totally out of sorts. John's totally out of sorts. He's very sad today. It's not been a good day for him. He's totally out of sorts. You could also say that he is down in the dumps. I like this expression. Down in the dumps. Oh, John is down in the dumps today. Or not only today, we are using today as a way to make it simple for you to comprehend, but we could create bigger or longer sentences. For example, after John divorced, since John divorced, he's been feeling down in the dumps, for example. We are using a bigger sentence, a longer structure. So out of sorts, down in the dumps. We could say that is a misery guts. A misery guts. So today John is a misery guts. He's extremely sad. We also use misery guts to talk about pessimistic people. People who are pessimistic, generally they are misery guts. I don't know if I agree with that, but yeah, they are synonyms. So John is very pessimistic. Oh, that guy is a misery guts. We could say that. So sad, out of sorts, down the dumps, misery guts. Let's say another something now. Let's see. John is jealous. John is jealous. So we could say that, let's give a scenario for this. John is jealous. His brother got a bigger gift for Christmas. That's just a one case scenario, right? John is jealous. Why is he jealous? Because his brother got a bigger gift for Christmas. So John's gift was so small and his brother's was bigger. So John is jealous. And maybe John's dad gets home and he asks John's mom, "What's up with John? What happened with him?" And maybe his mom's a little bit more fluent in English than us, and she's not just gonna say John is jealous. She's gonna say, "Oh, don't mind, John is suffering from sour grapes." And you could tell me, "Oh, this makes no sense in Portuguese." Yes, exactly. But in English it makes a lot. So John is suffering from sour grapes. He's jealous. Exactly the same. We're just changing a basic word into a more sophisticated structure. John is suffering from sour grapes. Can you repeat that? John is suffering from sour grapes. John is suffering from sour grapes. And I just got two more expressions to talk about. Being grin and bear it. I didn't know actually how to classify these two expressions, so that's why they were left out to the end of the class. Grin and bear. Grin and bear. In Portuguese, we have something that makes the explanation easier, but let's try with English first. If that gets too confused, I can try and give the translation. So sometimes we go through situations that are very uncomfortable, right? But in some situations, the uncomfortable cases, they are the only solution for our problems. So what can we do? We have to Grin and bear it. Grin and bear it means accept something difficult. Something difficult. And you see how to work with idioms. First, you understand the big meaning. You know, the big meaning is accept something different. Oh, something difficult. And then, after you got the context, after you have already used this word, this expression, or have at least seen this word used in the real world, you can try and understand what it really means. Grin is the same as a smile. You know, when you smile, but not because you're happy, but because you're polite. Somebody smiles at you and you say something like this. This is grin, right? It's kind of similar in meaning to smile. A smile. And bear is the same as stand a situation. When you stand a situation, you bear that situation. You do not die, you survive a situation. In Portuguese, we have something as suportar, you bear. So, sorria e suporta. Sorria e aguenta. Sorria e acena, right? Não tem saída. So, o que não tem remédio, remediado está. Grin and bear it. Grin and bear. Just grin and bear. That's the expression, okay? And the last one is put a damper on. Put a damper on. This expression means ruin a plan or a happy moment. Okay? Whenever you ruin a happy moment, you are putting a damper on a happy moment. So let's say that John is a very pessimistic guy, he's a misery guts, let's say, and you invite him to a party. And when he arrives at the party, he starts complaining a lot and he ruins the party. He spoils the party. After he arrives, the party is not fun anymore. So we could say that his presence put a damper on the party. Okay? We can say that for weather, for example. Oh, the rain put a damper on my plans for carnival. So the rain is preventing me from enjoying carnival the way I wanted. That's when it puts a damper on. Okay? My dear student, I hope you have enjoyed this video. More importantly, I hope you have learned some idioms and what idioms are. There is no magic trick I can do to help you memorize words other than sitting down, copying them as many times as possible, trying to repeat them out loud, voice record or video record yourself so you can watch or listen to yourself again later on, practice in front of the mirror, schedule bonus classes, work on grammar, work on vocabulary. I don't know what else I can do to help you. My dear student, I truly hope that I've been able to help you somehow. If you still have any doubts, just let me know. You know, you've got my number, okay? See you next video. Bye-bye.